Listen, motherfuckers, I brought it up.
Who you call
I asked to quit. Motherfuckers.
Motherfucker.
Hi, welcome to Krush House. I'm your host, Wayne Allyn Root, the CEO of VegasWinners.com, and the man the media calls the king of Vegas sports gambling and America's odds maker. I'm the only sports handicapper in the world with a 180-pound granite star on the Las Vegas Walk of Stars. My company, Vegas Winners, sponsors the Krush House series, this podcast, Krush House, as well as Krush House Cappers and Krush House Legends. Whether you love sports, sports legends, or sports gambling, we've got the podcast for you. Later in the show, I'll be back with my Football Insider segment with former NFL host Sean Salisbury to bring you insights on the NFL and valuable point spread advice for all the sports gamblers out there. But right now, I'll throw it to my main men, Frank, Sean, and Rick. See you in a few minutes.
Thank God it's Friday, baby. That means it's time to come back in to the Krush House. I'm Frank Nicotero, back from my near space trip. No, I don't have a spaceship. I was playing asteroids on my Atari 2600. Back to Earth to talk about sports. Later on in the show, the king of Vegas handicappers, Wayne Allyn Root, will talk some NFL with this man, that guy right there. I love him to death. He is our NFL expert, also a daily talk show host in Houston, Texas. It's the one and only Sean Salisbury. And this man who has been crashing in the Krush House guest room for the past 2 months. He is back to talk about the NBA Finals. It's the one and only baddest of the bad boy, Rick Mahorn. I got my Rick Mahorn shirt on today, baby.
That's
You showing a lot of respect. A real champion, huh?
All right, let's talk about the Bucks. All right, the Bucks win their first title in 50 years. Giannis, not Giannis, as I've called him in the past, drops 50. I mean, come on. The Bucks were down 2-0, storm back and win 4. Rick, you got to be impressed with the way they came back and his performance, right?
Oh, I was so impressed. I mean, for him to get the MVP of the finals, it's great. This is great for the NBA, small market Milwaukee, and Sean knows when you're in a small market, especially up there in that the Great Lakes area, those winning and championships come far and in between. But Giannis played so well. I thought he was hurt after he got hit in his knee. I thought he wouldn't play anymore. But he had a Willis Reed moment where he came on the court and just dominated. And it just seemed like Phoenix did not have an answer to stop him. The Ayton would be on him. Crowder would be on him, but it was just like a total team collapse for the Phoenix Suns. I guess Sean's son didn't make enough good food for them to make sure that the Bucks did have a lot of cheese in their locker room or some milk.
I think he made really good food, but they must have got lost in the delivery, Ricky. That's what happened.
I understand. It's a cheese state.
Yeah, there you go. You make a fantastic point, and Rick, I don't know. It's been, and Frankie, I don't know how long it's been. I mean, I know how physical Shaq was, as you do, Rick. You played in a time when people were beating each other up and finesse and physicality. I can't remember a time over the last 3 decades that I saw a guy literally do whatever he wanted to get his spot in the low block, taking the ball from the 3/4 length court, driving down and finishing. And now Ayton's a good player, but this was a major mismatch, Rick. And after 2-0 start, on the offensive end, Ayton tried to hang in there, but they had zero answer. It didn't matter if it was Crowder or Ayton. The physical dominance of Giannis for a guy who doesn't shoot threes, and you knew he had to beat you from mid-range or in the paint, and he still got to his spot. Nothing short of fantastic. One of the great, really the last 4 games, but to keep a team alive and to know that you had to play well and do it, I thought his performance was unbelievable. It looked like a grown-ass man playing against 7th graders. I haven't seen anything like it in a long time.
Rick, one more thing on the NBA. What did you do to celebrate? We know Giannis went and got some little chicken. What did you do with the Pistons in '89 when you won? What would you...
I ain't say.
He doesn't remember?
Listen, no, I don't have to remember. I'm just Sergeant Schultz. I say nothing. I see nothing. No, but what had happened? We were.
Was that a Hogan's Heroes reference?
I
like it.
Sergeant Schultz. You know, it's funny. I do remember it because I called my mother earlier that day. I said, "Mom, we're on. If we win this game tonight, we're in L.A. and I'm gonna be. If you don't hear from me for a few days, I may be drunk somewhere. Don't know where I'm at, but I'm okay. But the celebration." Right now, I think Giannis with that celebration, I think Chick-fil-A would be like, Giannis, we'd like for you to do a commercial for our nuggets and stuff. So I mean, these things open up opportunities for guys off the court. But my celebration was we celebrated in the hotel in Marina Del Rey. We had a great time, and then we got back to Detroit. Winning on the road was kind of easier than winning at home because when you look at it, Milwaukee, did you see that outside the Pfizer Serve Arena, 60 plus thousand people?
That was a parade in itself during the game.
That's the scary thing because the players can't leave the arena because there's, everybody's waiting for them to come out. So it's inundated. But we had the advantage of winning in L.A. at the Forum and then coming back and they brought the plane to one airport, and the fans were there. We got off and waved, got back on a plane, and took a 5-minute ride to get to our airport so we can get in our cars and get away. So the celebration stuff is great. It's great for the fans, and that's the thing. Fans are so important of what professional sports or any sport with the Olympics coming around. It's going to be kind of weird because they're not allowing a lot of fans in the Olympics there, Frank. And I know you're up to date on what's going on with the Olympics. So tell us what's
energy,
going on.
Man. Yeah, energy matters. Energy matters.
That was a hell of a segue right into the Olympics. Thank you, Rick. Usually I'm doing it, but both of you guys are both.
This is our show, man. We do
I
this.
love it.
TV, radio, internet 101, brother. Segway.
The Olympics are underway. The opening ceremonies, they were on 4 a.m. LA time. I did not get up to watch them. I recorded everything, which I'll get to later. But I'm excited for the Olympics. It is going to feel a little weird. I pray they don't do what the NFL did and pipe in fake noise, like crowd noise, because it would just be weird. But, I mean, to watch the swimming events quiet or the track and field, to watch the 100, which is the 10 most exciting seconds in sports, it's going to be weird hearing silence. But, USA's got a lot of athletes. We like to talk gambling here, guys. We got an over-under of U.S. gold medals won. It is 43.5, and total medals 112.5. You can bet on this on all your sites that we like to talk about here on Krush House. Does America have a great showing in the Olympics? What do we know?
I believe they're going to have a great show, and I think they're going to have a great show. I'm that guy that thinks they're going to win every event, every time, all the time. Now let's backtrack. Not having fans there sucks. Yeah, I understand. I understand the reason, but it still sucks, and it makes me think: how many world records, like in the sprinting events, those ones where you got a chance, and Frank, you slide it, and we no longer run it in 10. We got guys running this damn thing in like 9.6, right?
You're right.
Which is crazy, but I know what you meant. I'm with you. It's hard to believe that they can cover a football field in 10 yards in less than 10 seconds. It's unfathomable to me. Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Did it.
Sure, on some video game. That's exactly right. So it sucks not having fans. I just wonder. Picture yourself in the starting blocks when the fans are going crazy and that extra boost of momentum. Yeah. Gold medals, yes. I wonder how many records will be stopped because that extra burst. Now, maybe they're just special enough that they do this in practice all the time, because that's at times what it's going to feel like. You got to visualize families watching, people are watching. I'm taking the over on the gold medals.
I hope so.
I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over on the gold medals.
We as Americans, we become cocky. We're America. That's the air quotes that I like to put. But I think the U.S. will kind of dominate on the medals thing. I kind of worry sometimes about the Olympic basketball team because we take exhibition. We go like, oh, it's exhibition. No, when I played the exhibition games, I took it seriously. People didn't, you don't take it serious and say you can turn it on when you feel like turning it on. And listen, Sean, you're correct. Fans do energize you a little bit more, but knowing what the state of this coronavirus or people testing positive, you don't know who's going to be out. They're doing this.
That's the scary part. We still don't know, right?
We still don't know.
But let's talk hoops while you're talking about Olympic hoops. The men are minus 350 to win the gold medal, which means they're a favorite. They're minus 5,000 that they'll win any medal. So basically they're saying they're going to medal, but the gold minus 350. And for the women, minus 1,000 to win the gold. So heavy favorites. And listen to this. For the women, just to win any medal, it's minus 20,000. For those of you who are new to gambling, you'd have to wager $20,000 just to win 100 if the women if they medal. So
which means they're going to medal.
The women are going to medal.
Yes.
But the men's, can the men win the gold, Rick? With what you know of that roster, Durant is favored to be the leading scorer. Luka is favored to be the overall scorer in the Olympics. But are the men going to win it? Do they have enough?
You know what? I look at that team and what they're composed of, and you see Devin Booker and Drew Holiday. Everybody's going. You know, they'll be there on Saturday, and hopefully they could be able to play against France. But when you look at this, the way it's all set up, the physicality, it's also, you don't have those aging guys that know the game. Like for the women, they have Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, 39 and 40, and you go like, okay, but this is their fifth Olympic gold medal. They know what to do, the process of it, and this is something new for the guys that the Olympic team has. You know, they did show a lot of favor against Spain and doing what they need to do, but hey, the world is caught up. You know, you got Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, winning the championship, MVPs, and all these things. This is starting to open up as when the 92 Olympic guys got there, you know, next thing you know, Magic. All of this is enhanced basketball around the world. And we look at Luka the Don. I'm telling you something, watch out. Because this game, I'm looking at it going like, you know, Americans can win it, but they might catch one like France has got there.
And that's the problem, Rick. The but. It's that but. Hey, yeah. I think they're gonna win gold. But if the United States if this wasn't a wake up call in the exhibition, and they're not going over there with the facts that they play as if somebody's trying to steal their medal. Mm-hmm. And play like that, like this, like it's an NBA championship. But what better? I mean, what a better representative than you get to represent your country? Even if you already have a gold medal, there can be nothing better. And Doncic said it himself: representing your country, fans or no fans there. So to me, they're not good enough to roll the ball out there and just show up. Yeah. They've got to show up and treat it as if somebody's trying to steal food off their table or their gold medal. If they do, they will win the gold medal. If they get a little lackadaisical and kind of, this isn't that big a deal, they will not win the gold medal. But I'm still saying they will. I'm just not as comfortable with the bet as I would have been in past years of the Olympics.
All right, quick question. Besides basketball, what event do you like the most in the Summer Olympics? I'm excited to see baseball back because Japan really wanted baseball back. So I'm excited to see the baseball back. I mean, I love track and field and swimming and all that. What are your favorite events to watch?
Rick, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Sean.
For me, there's two. I love a lot of them. I'm one of those guys that even if it's background noise, I'm watching it. Yeah. But for me, it's the 4x100 meter relay. Yeah. I friggin' love just all that goes in, and you still got to execute it. And I'm all the swimming events. I go back to when Michael Phelps to win that gold medal, and the call. If you want to hear one of the greatest broadcast calls ever, Dan Hicks and Rowdy Gaines. When they made the turn and he had to catch and started drafting and touched before I can't remember who. Maybe it was the French. I'm not sure who it was.
I know who you're talking about.
But they were it's over. They're too far behind. And then all of a sudden the decibels flipped. Yeah. It's like, whoa, wait a minute now. And that call, which solidified another gold medal for Phelps, swimming and the 4x100 are from me.
For me, like you, Sean, I surf. And if something is really intriguing to me, I like it. I like all sports. I think it's fascinating. This morning I got up early because I'm in Vegas. I got up early and I was watching women's softball, Canada versus United States, and I was sitting there watching it. The U.S. was up 1-0, but it was like they had bases loaded and they got and they struck out. But it's to me that's it. I want to just see most of the U.S. and Simone Biles. I can't wait till gymnastics. Did we even think that gymnastics would be this one of these sports that you go? I'm going like, wow, she is so damn good, and that's what's going. That's impressive to me. I mean, I've seen basketball. I've seen the track and field, but seeing things that I can't do. Those are the things that
as a Texas and Houston guy. She's a Houston, she's out in that. She's a Houston gal. To be the best at anything is saying something, but to be head and shoulders above everybody else, I just hope everything works out and she hits it because she is a phenomenal talent to watch.
And a
Gold
great
medals. I take so
inspiration.
much pride in what. Yeah, I mean, you get into it and you're fired up for her. She's special, and she is a tremendous representative from what the U.S. is supposed to be about. Awesome young lady and an unbelievable competitor.
Hey guys, we've been talking a lot about the Olympics and amateur sports, but I want to hear about some pro sports, especially the NFL season coming up. So Wayne Allyn Root and Sean, take it away.
Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root. You may recognize me from Krush House Cappers, and I also make an appearance each week right here on Krush House with my great friend Sean Salisbury, former NFL quarterback. We've got an NFL Insider segment. We love doing it every week. Sean, how are you, my man?
I'm doing great, man. Good to be on with you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let's talk about the NFL. First of all, I want to talk about the 5 quarterbacks drafted in the first round. 5 first-round QBs, and I want to know who you think is the best fit with their new team and who could start off in the most dynamic fashion.
Yeah, well, let's start with the guy who was drafted first in Trey Lance in San Francisco. The reason why he may have the best, depending on Jimmy's health and Jimmy's production, Garoppolo in San Francisco, of all the quarterbacks who went to teams where a quarterback can make an instant impact, if he plays, it's there. They get Bosa back healthy. They get Kittle back healthy. Their roster says playoff Super Bowl caliber roster. The question is, does the quarterback? So if, in fact, Jimmy flounders and they decide to throw Trey Lance in there, he'll have the best chance with players around him to be successful early. Mac Jones is the other one, depending on Cam Newton, because he's in a position offensively in what they do and Josh McDaniels does to get work on a team that's getting a lot of guys from COVID back. Lawrence is going to be successful, but they're not very good. Wilson will be successful. They're not very good. How long depends on those two. So of the 5 guys, I would say Lance's team or the Patriots team. But how can you not look at and Mac Jones, how can you not look at Trevor Lawrence and say he just breeds success? What about him wouldn't anybody like other than the roster around him? And hopefully for him, Urban Meyer will build it. He's going to be a star. I think we have 4 of these guys. Maybe all 5 can do their thing, but it's going to take a while, and Trey Lance has the best team to make an impact on early if he starts.
Well, Trevor Lawrence, if he was stuck in some team, some random team, I'd agree with you. He's not at the top of the pile. But the fact that he's with Urban Meyer, I got to think that combination, Urban will bring out the best in Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if it starts on day 1,
right,
but by the end of the season, I got to think it's going to be a winning combination, and you're going to see a lot of hope for next year. So, I kind of like Trevor Lawrence to get off to the hottest start.
And
That's just my opinion.
And with Urban, who's used to winning, and neither one of those guys, Trevor Lawrence or Urban, Wayne, know how to lose. The question is, how are they going to deal with it? Because it's going to hit them early. Everywhere Urban's gone, he's made an impact, whether it's Utah with Alex Smith, before that Bowling Green with Tim Tebow in college. The question is, can you take the college guy, Trevor Lawrence, who I think is going to be special? I'm with you. He's going to get every opportunity because he's going to start from day one, obviously.
Yeah.
The second is Urban Meyer's adjustment to the NFL, where he's the CEO, the dad, and everything else in college. Does he get to make that same impact on those NFL players? But from my knowledge and from what I thought, it was a great hire by Jacksonville, and it doesn't hurt that he gets to start with Trevor Lawrence and not a guy like me at quarterback. God bless him.
Hey, let me tell you something. I've never been wrong yet about Urban Meyer.
Right.
When he started his career, I think it was Bowling Green, if I'm not, like 25 years ago. I said, watch this guy, and he did great. And then when he went to Utah, I said, this guy's going to be like a Bear Bryant. And he beat Alabama in a bowl game, and I think had an undefeated season, if my memory serves me, at Utah. And then, then he goes off to the big time, and he wins 2 national championships at Florida. So, there's nothing he can't do. I got to tell you again, I think he's going to wind up being a great NFL head coach. And I can't wait for the first time the announcer says, Trevor Lawrence hits Tim Tebow for a touchdown. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait either. And Urban Meyer will be doing somersaults on the sideline if that happens too.
All right, let's go to a controversial issue, because I just don't get it. I don't understand how the NFL could say if a player's unvaccinated and he gets sick, the team forfeits a game. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Horrible for the fans, terrible decision, terrible for the players. Everybody loses their game day check. And how about this one? What are they going to do when constantly players are sick who've been vaccinated and games are suspended. Then what?
Well, and that's the key. Well, what'll happen, Wayne, that's what I asked. And two, let's even push it forward a year and let's say everybody's vaccinated next year when they get in the league. What happens if a new variant comes down and 15 guys on a team that are vaccinated? How do you let them keep their paycheck and not give it back? Well, this year, the rules are set. Listen, I understand why they want safety. I understand why people argue like, well, wait a minute, isn't it the player's decision? Well, the business is a private business and they reserve the right. And we know this, Wayne. Let's cut through the crap. This isn't about the health for the NFL. I mean, it is. It may be second or third down the line. It's the money.
It's about money.
They don't want to miss games. It means too much. Television contracts. Oh, they care about the player's health. But what they're thinking about is, and it's basically a voluntary mandatory thing. We are not going to make it mandatory, but it is kind of mandatory. Because can you imagine being the guy that's not vaccinated, going to that locker room, costing your team and the other team a paycheck, and then you become divisive within the locker room? It's a slippery slope. I get why the NFL's doing it, why they want them vaccinated to be safe. But I also think the player reserves the right to say, well, maybe I don't feel comfortable yet while I do my due diligence. I understand both sides, but you know what? The NFL's not BSing around. They're not BSing, Wayne. They're going all after this. So if you're going to be a player that's unvaccinated, you better understand the risk-reward factor and mainly the problems that'll come about if you're the guy that gets tested and you fail it and cost your team a chance to get a paycheck.
And I get it. I understand it's about money. My favorite team, right? Cowboys.
Right.
Jerry Jones just did an interview where he said, you'd expect me to be, against the vaccine. I'm a big conservative. I'm for it. I want every player on the Cowboys vaccinated.
Right.
And he said it's all about money. And I get that. They're all missing a point. In every country in the world that's highly vaccinated, people are getting very sick. It's not working. The vaccine is not working on the Delta variant. Right now, there's people sick in the Olympics. They've all been vaccinated. 3 Yankee pitchers sick. They've all been vaccinated. 6 Democrats on that airplane, state representatives in Texas who went to D.C., all vaccinated, sick. Now there's an outbreak of COVID in the White House. Everyone's vaccinated, but they're sick. So it's not going to help. So the question is, how can you say if you're unvaccinated, your team forfeits a game? What happens when 20 players get sick and they're all vaccinated? Then nobody forfeits, and then no one's punished? I don't know.
Right.
It doesn't make sense
Wayne,
to me.
that's if this is as rampant as they say about the Delta variant as some of the examples you've given. I like players having a decision like I like society having a decision. I get why they're doing it. I want everybody safe, and if the vaccination is working 100%, then hell, we should all be vaccinated to keep everybody safe with common sense and respect. But I'm going to tell you, Wayne, if it happens like you say it could happen with all this, what is the NFL going to do?
I don't know.
What are they going to do? Well, all the guys that failed it were vaccinated. We can't play a game this week. Now do they take the check away, or do they say, well, we'll see you next week. We're not playing it in 19 weeks. We're only doing it in 18. It's a very slippery slope. And if the vaccination, they're crossing their fingers that this vaccination prevents people from testing positive. That's what they're hoping.
Showing it's not. And by the way,
it
was just announced yesterday, 84% of all the new COVID cases in Israel, vaccinated people. So it's not going to make a difference. It's not. So I don't know how you could take someone's paycheck away for getting sick. That's not right, and it's not fair.
And then they're going to fight among players, right, Wayne? Wouldn't you in the locker room saying, man, that's $75,000 that I may need. It can become divisive, but I also know this. I don't judge my teammates by anything other than how they treat people and treat me if I was in a locker room. But it can be a very slippery slope and an extremely divisive situation between the players and the NFL if this doesn't work the way the NFL plans it.
All right, last question. We know the Washington Redskins are no longer the Redskins. Today it was announced the Cleveland Indians are no longer going to be the Cleveland Indians. They're going to be the Cleveland Guardians. What do you make of all this?
Well, I used to be, Wayne, a decade ago or so, what's the big deal with the Washington Redskins or the Cleveland Indians? Because I used to look at it as a player when we played Washington as a symbol of power. It was the Washington Redskins. But I also understand over the course of time and social media that people, if a group of people, Native Americans with the Redskins have a problem, or with the Cleveland Indians, then we at least got to have dialogue to listen. And if it bothers enough people, then you got to remark it and do it. Wayne, we're in a sensitive society. Everything seems to be, people get offended by everything. But this, if it's an issue, and the Cleveland Indians and Native Americans and those people in a certain group or society decide that it doesn't fit what they want, it bothers them, and it's insensitive and racially insensitive, then we should listen. I don't know if I love the name. The Guardians is pretty cool. I like the Cleveland Spiders, which they've had, but I do get why things are a change and whether we like it or not, or the Indians and the Redskins, but we're not the ones that need to be offended by it because, well, it doesn't affect us. It affects a certain group, and if that group's offended, I think we owe it to everybody to at least have dialogue and listen, and the Cleveland Indians and their fans have decided it was time to make a change.
And shockingly, I'm going to tell you, I agree with what you just said. If Indians are offended, fine, we'll change the name. But my problem is, where does it end? The Dallas Cowboys. What do the Cowboys represent? Killing Indians. That's what they did in the Wild West. I can't wait. Any day now, someone's going to say, you got to change the name of the Dallas Cowboys. You got to change the name of the Vegas Raiders. What are Raiders? They're violent. They kill people. Where does it end? Everybody's offended by something.
Yes, and you're going to offend somebody no matter what you do, but I do believe in listening. We got 2 ears and one mouth, and when it comes to sensitivity or somebody being offended by it, I think we at least have to listen, and according to Cleveland and Washington, they're going to both change. And Washington later, Cleveland next year will be the Cleveland Guardians, and we'll see how that works for them.
So guess what? The Golden State Warriors are not to be. They're done. They're done.
You are on to something there, my friend. It's going to be 4 or 5 more franchises that are going to get faced with this, no doubt.
All right, just don't ever touch my Dallas Cowboys. I'll fight you to the death. We're not changing the name Cowboys.
I'm not sensitive to it, brother. I live in Texas. I'm all in.
All right, another great segment. Thank you, Sean.
Awesome.
You and I are like brothers going back 25 years. Thank you, brother.
Simpatico, brother. Thank you.
All right, back to all the boys, Sean, Frank, and Rick Mahorn, right now at Krush House.
First of all, Rick, when you said you surf, for a second, I envisioned you on a surfboard. You said, I like Sean surf. You were talking about surfing channels and watching a lot of Olympic sports.
Channels, yeah.
Yeah,
talking about surfing channels.
I was thinking Rick Mahorn on a surfboard.
Imagine watching his big ass get up on a surfboard.
No, that's like watching a beluga the whale get up on a damn stick. I'm not getting on. I don't even get in the pool. I'm good.
Listen, Sean, we were talking yesterday. We have pre-production meetings. It's no secret anymore. Sean, you had a great idea for a final question that you wanted to ask Rick and I, and you wanted to answer about if you had $1 billion, because we were talking about LeBron hitting $1 billion and all these rich guys that are taking these spaceship flights. What would you buy frivolously?
Frivolously. Yes,
Maybe
there you go.
How to pronounce that word?
Buy a vowel, brother. Buy a vowel.
Ding, ding, ding. All right, what would you do with $1 billion? Now remember, this is not a politically correct answer. What would you do just stupid with $1 billion? Rick or Sean, take it away.
Rick, Sean, you have it. I brought it up. My question. Hey, listen, motherfuckers. I brought it up.
Who you call?
I asked the question, motherfuckers.
Motherfucker. All right, motherfucker, for $1 billion.
I felt like saying, you know what? For a second, my inner Samuel L. Jackson came out. Motherfucker, what's going on? So, Rick,
for my $1 billion, I'd remake that Fish Saves Pittsburgh movie.
This movie?
Yeah, that fucked up movie.
Hey, Shaq would invest. Shaq's a fan. He loves it.
Hey, listen, and I'll make sure I get all the old guys that played it coming in there saying the fish that died in Pittsburgh. That's what I would do. But for my $1 billion, man, oh my gosh, I probably just want to. I'll probably buy a new body. That's what I'd probably do. Try to find one of them new bodies so I can surf.
You can do that on Amazon.
No.
Amazon Prime has new bodies. Sean, this is your question.
No, you answer.
I gotta go. Only if you call me a motherfucker first.
Listen, motherfucker.
Okay, all right.
Answer this.
He said, no, hold on. I never, listen, he said,
Little Samuel L.
No, do it again, motherfucker.
No, listen, right here. Hey, man, Frank, listen, motherfucker. You take care of it.
Look, if you want me to truly
frivolous.
Frivolous.
Yeah. Buy a vowel.
Frivolous. Oh my God. Frivolously. There we go. I would probably invest in the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is talking about pissing away money. That would be it right there. No, I would do an amazing trip for a bunch of friends and just, we would travel first class. I mean, not first class. I would like rent a spaceship from Bezos or or Branson or something.
They're in a spaceship. They never went out of space.
It's near space, but I would do a big trip with friends and just go everywhere and party it up and get chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A and all that.
I got one
Two
for
things.
you.
Go ahead, Rick.
You get some implants to help this out right there. You shit.
That may not take
it's
$1
just
billion.
the way the hair
right?
laid today, Rick.
I got two things for me, guys. And there's when you get frivolous, you say, okay, I can do whatever I want. One is, I would do what Frank did. I would get a bunch of my best friends and and we would go on it, whether it's Hawaii. I don't care wherever we decide to go. Private plane, everybody enjoy it. And the memories I got from there would be worth whatever $500,000 I spent for everybody to stay, and I'd pay for their rooms, the flight, everything. But I'll tell you, for me, sports-wise, now I know what NFL franchises and that goes for. Can't I get a hockey franchise, which I'm a diehard hockey fan? Can I get one for about $500 million, $750 million?
Like
I think you could probably get the Kraken or whatever.
I'll take them. I don't want the crack, but I'd like the crack in. So if I could afford, now listen, what I would, now it's frivolous. It's frivolous, so that means I got like $100 billion more, like Bezos, right? So that billion, I'm buying a hockey team with the $1 billion, if I can get one, and we're building a champion. Because I want to take the Stanley Cup around for a couple days myself. So I'm buying a hockey team.
It's supposed to be frivolous. It's not supposed
he
to
can't
be
say it either.
reality.
See this shit?
Okay, no business. Yeah.
I
Well, hell,
it.
I don't know when I'm getting $1 billion, but my first thing would be to make sure best friends and family enjoyed the trip and time of their life.
That's what we would do anyway.
Anyway, okay,
we talking
frivolous.
about some off the
Okay, here's
charts
what I do.
bullshit.
I would go spend about. That takes a lot. I wouldn't take $1 billion, but I would go do the Jay Leno, Reggie Jackson. I love classic cars, and I'm a motorcycle guy. So from my dad with his love with classic cars and seeing it, I would probably purchase a big old warehouse and go around the country buying classic cars and motorcycles and go from there.
That shit was horrible.
That's a good
one.
one.
Come on, motherfucker. Give us something real. This is bull.
Okay, what else? Okay, I don't know. What else with $1 billion am I doing? I mean,
I'd buy
everything I give you call it a business
Harris
move.
jersey, and I would burn it.
Now I'm going to call you a motherfucker. All right? Okay? Listen, we've had so much fun on Krush House. I got the hat on, so you can't point out any white you see on the top of my head. Unfortunately, the NBA playoffs have ended, and after a couple months of hilarity, and Sean and I both looking forward to Fridays every week. Rick, this is your last show with us. For now, goodbye doesn't mean forever. All right? We got Olympic.
Why don't you sing a song? I felt like a lyric to a music. Goodbye.
How should I say goodbye?
Oh, hell no. I'm
yesterday.
No, Rick, you've been amazing, man.
No.
We got to go. We'll see you next week on Krush House. Thank you, Wayne Allyn Root. Thank you, Sean Salisbury and Rick Mahorn. We love you, brother. You are a Hall of Famer here on the Krush House. Come back and crash in the guest room anytime. It's so hard.
Great teammate, Ricky.
Goodbye to yesterday.
Or to today.
Oh, no, don't do that, Frank. You sound good, Frank.
See?
Oh,
I'm going to stay Motown Philly now. Motown Philly.
Oh, hell.
Oh, no. I got to go, Rick.
I'm going.
out.
I see you.
Mother.
Love
yeah,
you guys.
I love you, brother.
I'm
Thanks,
out.
man. See it.
Boys to men going on.
What is wrong with you? Oh, I love him, man.
I'm Wayne Allyn Root. Thanks for hanging out with us on Krush House today. I want you to remember you could sign up to become a part of the Krush House Gang and unlock my winning point spread picks for free only at vegaswinners.com. And check out all our entertaining and informative Krush House podcasts. Enter to win prizes, including trips to Vegas, to join me and the Krush House Gang to watch a game, break some bread, and experience Sin City like few ever will. And most importantly, it's all about the Benjamins. The winning is free at vegaswinners.com. Just go to vegaswinners.com right now, register, and get all the picks, the wisdom, the analysis, and the winning point spread advice for free. Thanks for dropping in to another episode of Krush House, because winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Until next time, just win big, baby.
that light spot on top of your head?
Shut the fuck up. I just noticed that a couple days ago. I don't know what that is. I keep looking at it, Rick. Go ahead, Howard. Go ahead, caller. Caller, you're on.
First time caller, long time listener.
Turn down your radio, please. Rick, I've noticed this. What the fuck is that?
Wow,
Okay.
it's still there. It's called
Shut up!
GLH. Won't you get a little spray bottle?
Fuck. All right. Fuck that. Let's do it one more time.